It's live.
Live.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's live. We live. We live.
What's good? What's good?
We live.
We live, baby.
Yeah.
Man, it's your boy DJ Grateful, man. I'm out here in the building, as I always say. Got a special episode today for Mansuit Monday. I thank you for joining in and taking a look, man. And so without further ado, man, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce these fellas, and we'll get into our subject for today. So to my right, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
You know me, Justin Chaplin. New podcast talk show creator, Food for the Heart, coming soon towards you. Something that's gonna be real inspirational. My homeboy, my brother DJ Grateful, DeCarlo, has introduced me to this show, and it gave me motivation to really push forward. So this is something that I think you guys could really use through the day-to-day week. Even if you're watching on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, make sure you guys are tuning in just to get the word, get the motivation, get the understanding of everything that you guys need to be doing and everything that that you guys are not doing. So yeah, that's what we here. We here. We live.
That's
I
it,
appreciate
man.
the opportunity. Thank
Yes,
you so
sir.
much.
Yes, sir, man.
Well,
Thank you for
intro.
being in the building, bro.
Yeah, bro. What's that?
And then I got to my left, man. I got a new guest in the building, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, bro.
So my name is Luther. I just had the pleasure of meeting Ricardo a couple, 30 minutes ago.
30 minutes ago, bro.
Real quick, bro.
Yeah, but I love what he's doing, and I love the vision of what he's got going on. A little bit about myself. I'm just doing me. I'm a musician out of Fayetteville. I have this own thing called the GUI Experience. And it's basically free-flowing music where it just gives you that ooey gooey vibe.
Yeah.
You'll definitely see a lot more of it and see what I'm talking about in the future.
That's it, man.
But
Yeah.
then also I have my own clothing brand called Live Authentically.
Yeah.
And that's something I've been pursuing and started up back in college before I withdrew. And now I'm just focusing on me, focusing on my passions, and taking things far, So
That's it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I appreciate the
That's good.
opportunity to be here and be on this podcast. I'm excited. So
Yeah, we here.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate y'all fellas, man, for stepping in.
Most definitely.
As y'all already know, man, DJ Grateful in the building, man. Here to inspire, lift you up, man. As I always do, man. So I'm here to promote manhood, masculinity, and morale. So today we got a subject. What we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about the importance of fatherhood, man. Especially in 2023, man. It's tough out here, man.
Always.
It's tough.
Yeah, man. It's tough. It's tough.
I think a great way to open it up is, regardless of where your father was and wherever your father, had to do, you gotta understand that we all men out here.
Yeah.
We all, from a father's perspective, gotta support. And whatever that means, I know that every father out there, whether they admit to it or not, has a strong, loving connection with their biological child. It's just how it is, man. It's, you brought that life into the world. So, on a sense, it's really wherever the father is at, what he has to do, what he thinks he has to do to support the family. And honestly, everyone's trying their best to go through this life experience the way, they hope to do. But at the end of the day, fatherhood is a very important thing in every young man's life.
Yeah.
And how that young man develops, regardless of how the father was developed. They have a responsibility to bring that younger generation, their younger child, up to a certain degree of understanding of the world, because the mother nurtures and takes care of the children. The father's got to be there to support the family, and not even support the family in the old ways and how every society views it, but to a fundamental value. The dad there is the father's there to teach their child experience, man, what they've gone through, just as it's the mother's.
Right.
But
What do you think, man?
That's
From your
young blood
perspective?
talking, man.
That's it, man. Because
That's
how
young
old are you
blood.
again? Right? 19?
about to be 19.
About to be 19. This is coming from a 19-year-old in his experience, and what he had with his father. Want to elaborate a little bit? What about your experience?
Most definitely. I felt as my experience with my dad definitely being in my life and being black has been a big milestone, because a lot of people don't really have their father in their lives, and I think being a black man you do need to understand the concept of growth. You need to understand the concept of support. You need to know how to be strong. You need to know how to pull your chair for your lady, how to open the door for your lady, you
Right.
know? And there's different things like that that go into the world that, you know, that could really, what's the word? Really stereotype you. You know, not
Yeah.
even stereotype, just people just judge you based off your color. And I feel as if in the black community, if you cannot be there in a relationship, at least don't just be a dad, be a father to your children. Have that connection with your children. Show them how to grow. Even with women, show them what kind of man you want them to have in the future, you know? And I feel as if with my dad being there, he showed me, okay, even if things get hard, you can work through things. Even if you can't provide, you could still try to provide. There's no sense of giving up. There's no sense of you can't do this. You always got to be that rock, that foundation in a family. And, you know, that's why I appreciate my father really being there to really show me exactly the steps that I need to take to become a man and more than just a dad and just become like actual father. I'm a new father right now, you know, and just to let you guys know, I'm a new father right now. So I am learning, you know, and I'm taking everything that I've learned over the years, you know, and also the things that he didn't show me. I know that, okay, this is something I want to do in the future with my child. So even if he wasn't there and it's bad, I wouldn't have been able to learn it, you know, if he wasn't there to show me, okay, this is something I need to learn in the future.
Right.
So I do appreciate everything my dad has done for me. I appreciate him being there. So definitely don't just be a dad, be a real father to your children. We're going to elaborate more on that, of course, but you know, I'm going to let you go ahead and take over the show.
Man.
Your perspective on
Yeah, man, it's important because I feel like there's certain things that a boy going into a man should know. Because women they expect certain things out of us, right?
Yeah.
So things like, you know, how to change a tire, you know, simple things like that that I think that every guy should know, because, well, you know, I feel like it would be crazy to look at a woman to change a tire. I mean, you should know how to do that. So if you don't know, give it somebody that does, and you know, and things like that. Just learn it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So there's little things like that I think is important. No, shaving. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we get facial hair. Some of us get facial hair. I won't say that.
But that's important though. The shaving thing is important with
You know
the
what I'm saying?
appearance thing, because I know for the longest times I was going looking scruffy and peach fuzz and not having it clean, but it took my dad to be the first one like, nah, a man don't carry himself that way.
Yeah.
You know, so that is a strong point right there that you're making.
Yeah.
And as far as developing as a man, shoot, you need your father.
Yeah.
You definitely need a man figure, because a woman's not gonna. Of course, your mom's gonna groom you in a certain type of way, but your dad needs to let you know why it's important to really carry yourself in this demeanor, to really become a man in everyday life. So
because
what
your
do you
dad,
think?
your father is the man that you look up to. It's the man that is in your life, and it doesn't matter. Every other man doesn't matter except your father, because coming into this world, growing up, experiencing life, you know, going through whatever you're going through in life as a young cub. You know, I was
a young
just about
warthog.
that. Yeah, I'm still in that. I'm only 19 type.
Yeah.
So this is like the most close, you know, to that time that I feel like you guys could have at this point. But not even just those things though. I really want to bring back to a point you said was how to take care of a woman. You know?
Yeah.
And it has a lot to do with how even fathers are, you know, and the mothers, how that relationship is. Because a lot of how you develop your relationships later on in life is based off of that relationship.
That's facts.
Yeah.
So,
That's facts.
you know, from growing up in a home where, like, if your parents are fighting continuously and there's no chivalry, there's no nothing of that, there's no actual organic love, but just more a lot of, you know, kind of toxic stuff going on, you know, then that is your kind of idea of what relationships should be.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not saying this is my experience, but I'm more saying that this is an important thing to think about because of how these relationships, how your dad specifically, or your mom, you know, whether you are a daughter or a son kind of thing, it all goes into it. It all works the same way.
Right.
And even for my daughter, if I was to have a daughter, like, I realized that, you know, I'm not going to give them this stereotypical ways. You know, if I'd be blessed if I'd had a daughter and a son, because I'm going to raise them the same way. Types like, you guys are both going to be independent people. You guys are going to, because you guys are beings, bro. Y'all are beings. You don't see it in the sense of you know, a woman or a man kind of thing, and those stereotypes, you take it more broader than that, and you say, hey, these are the things you need to know as you're going through this life experience kind of thing. But I think, yeah, I really like the point you said about.
And I actually like the way you elaborate. Sorry, man, that's not your show, but he elaborated on the point and gave me more concept to it. You know, because what you say now, you do teach your child the same exact way, but they take two different things from it. You know, so
they take your experience and then they take what you're teaching.
Exactly.
So even if you're teaching, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. If you know, homie not doing to his own mom kind of thing, I'm not gonna see that and be like, okay, so what am I doing that for? Right. So it definitely has everything to do with, you know, the relationship that you know your parents share, and that I've had to look back and more see a different perspective from it and be like, okay, this is their experience, this is their relationship.
Right.
How do I want to develop my own kind of thing?
Yeah.
And I think that's the next most important part of, you know, raising a child, you know, whether you're a father or a mother, but definitely fatherhood for sure, is, you know, teaching them to be able to develop their own experience and letting them know that they are in charge of what they live, how they live. And my dad always had a really good thing, and this has been, you know, a concept throughout my whole life that I've just kind of always thought about. It was just like, yeah, it's like, homie, you can do anything you want to do. You can do absolutely anything. Just know that things have consequences.
Yeah.
Whether good or bad, things have consequences.
Yeah.
Right.
Cause and effect, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but it was always like it was never you can't do something. It was never that you can't do this, you can't become a musician, you can't become a comedian if you want to, you can't become any, it was always do what you want. You have creative freedom in your life. And that has helped me now understand it on a more, you know, deeper level now that I'm old enough to make my own choices. You know, I'm a newborn adult kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm about to be 19. This is you know, I just went through my whole first year of adulthood kind of thing and realized what I was doing and figuring out what I wanted to do in my life. And that's what's gotten me here. But, you know, it's more, you know, back to the idea of, again, this is about teaching your kid that they can have any experience that they want to have. And, you know, and you don't hinder them and you don't allow themselves to hinder themselves.
Yeah. You're right. That's a good point because I think about there's a lot of parents, and I've even grown up seeing this. The example of the parents want to kind of live vicariously through their kids, so it's like they want their kids to live the experience that they didn't have.
But and
that can be toxic.
It's so toxic because you can't. It's a simple phrase of like you can't lead a horse. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
More simply, it's a simple phrase, but it's really powerful because you can't make anybody do anything they don't want to do.
Facts.
Whether it's your kid or anybody else in this life. So, you know, and I'm glad my parents never did that. And honestly, I found things that I wanted to do that they like to do as well, but it had to become my own choice.
Yeah.
And, you know, allowing me to even try different sports and stuff like that. But yeah, you have to let your kid, you know, be the creator of their own experience. If they say they want to go play basketball, but you're trying to put them on a football team, they're not gonna have fun, type thing.
Yeah.
Let them do what they want to do. Let them experience and create that experience, and then allow them to, you know, experience the consequences of that. Let them learn, bro. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, I feel like as much trials and tribulations you can throw at your kid and let them figure it out on their own, and trying to shelter them and like put a big bubble around them, is going to be so much more helpful in that kid's life because of them experiencing now what they already experienced in a protective bubble, and, you know, being able to just, you know, always have a place to stay and always have a loving home, no matter what they did. And then them being able to leave that experience and go out, that's so helpful as well. Like,
And
go ahead.
Sorry. That's one thing that I could elaborate on is making sure, like, the place to stay. That's why I do feel as if it is important to have a father in that household, because my mom always made me feel as if you have a place to stay. And my dad made me realize, like, hey, you can't stay here for long. You gotta become a man at some point.
Absolutely.
So without that,
create a plan or something.
without that balance, a man just being, I'll be living with my mom forever, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and it's
She gonna feed you. She gonna take
She'll
care
feed
of
me.
you. She gonna do
You know
your
what I'm
laundry
saying?
for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she'll
And
take
sometimes
care of you.
those mothers will let it happen too.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
let it stay as long as
that's
they
the
want.
nurturing part of the mothers. And
But the man in the house does have to come back and be like, yo, real talk though.
Yeah,
what you doing, son?
What you
Yeah,
doing?
What you
like, what's the
doing?
plan?
What
What
you
you gonna do?
And that's
Exactly.
that's the
What's after
realization.
this?
That's the realization I'm coming to now, because like I can't lie, like I'm coming back home and I'm like, oh, it's good, you know, we back, and I'm like, and my dad's like, yeah, real talk.
Like, when you leaving again?
Real talk.
Like,
You
we
got
got
to go
you.
figure your shit out though. Like,
Yeah.
like you withdrawn from college, so what else are you doing after that?
Right,
you know,
right.
and he's like wanting to hear my intentions and my plans and everything.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just like, you can stay here and we'll offer a great home, but my man, you gotta go.
Yeah,
you gotta
exactly.
become the man that you're supposed to become.
Right.
Exactly.
And whether they say it that way or say it in other ways, you know, I know that that's what they're alluding to.
Yeah.
And I want to say again that I'm very thankful for my parents and thankful for them raising me the way that they did, because honestly I wouldn't be here at all having these conversations and having these wonderful, beautiful, you know, realizations with you brothers, you know, if it weren't for them. So
Shout out to the parents.
shout out to the parents. Shout out
One
to
thing
the
I also
parents
want
and
to say
their
as
father
well,
and mother.
that you mentioned as well is about the encouragement, man.
Mhm.
Because for me personally, I didn't grow up with that strong encouragement to do what I could do or wanted to do and be creative,
Yeah.
and I kind of had to learn on my own.
Yeah.
And I think you elaborated a little bit, but maybe elaborate a little bit more on how important that encouragement was to you as far as helping you to be, you know, or elevate to where you're going now.
Is encouragement is everything, but you gotta encourage them to be able to realize that they have to encourage themselves. Because no matter what, it doesn't matter how much encouragement you will give somebody,
Yeah.
it has to come from them. You know, it has to come from the inside. You gotta stay encouraged and motivated through yourself. So I don't think you're really you're encouraging your kid always, you know, encouraging them that they're doing the right thing. But I think the most important, like, the most powerful thing you can really do though is more so make them feel encouraged by allowing them to have that power as well.
Yeah.
So like
Teach them to encourage themselves.
and
as well.
yeah, so like the biggest thing for you know my parents, what they did, they're like, every time I was doing something, as long as I was happy about it, they're like, yeah,
Yeah.
stay on that thing, do that, do you.
Yeah.
But as soon as I kind of showed discontentment with it, and I was like, yo, I don't know if this is for me, and then they're like, okay, then don't do it, like kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Create your own experience. So I think it's not even like encouraging them when they find that thing that makes them happy in life,
Yeah.
and that this is what they want to do no matter what it is. You know, if it's underwater basket weaving, let your kid be happy about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let your kid be passionate about that. And keep encouraging them and being like, if that makes you happy, son,
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that comes with back to the parent. It comes back to the man that is raising them. Has got to understand that whatever you're raising your kid, the end goal is to raise your kid to be happy, to live a wonderful life, no matter what it is doing, even if it doesn't align with you. So if you want him to become something, you want him to become whatever, a plumber or an electrician or something like that, and he doesn't want to do that, or she doesn't want to do that, you know, then don't make him, because that's where I feel like a lot of parental and kid conflicts come into is you know, the parent saying like, I want you to do this, and the kid's like, I don't want to do any of that. I want to do this. Why can't you support me?
Right.
And that's always gonna, you know, cause an uneven kind of connection in that. So you gotta encourage your kid, encourage yourself as well as the parent to encourage your kid to just allow them to be happy, allow them to do what they want to do, regardless of how it sounds to you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, encouragement is a big thing, and allowing your kid to do whatever that makes them happy. Let them do it, let them learn it, and let them experience it. They'll figure it out if it's good for them or not. Whether, if you know it's good for them or bad for them, they gotta figure it out themselves, kind of thing. So.
Yeah, because that encouragement thing is strong. Because honestly, without my dad, wouldn't even be in this situation as I am right now. You know, because he was the one that like, hey, let's go. I'm like, where are we going? He said, nah, I'm gonna help you get a camera. We're gonna go ahead and get these lights. We're gonna go ahead and set the studio up. You know what I'm saying?
That beautiful.
That foundation right there, as
Yeah.
a father, as a man, he showed me
that loving push. Bro.
that loving push. You know.
Yeah.
And I see that's how he does it. That's how he treats everyone, and that's why I love your dad so much.
Man.
Like, it's such a beautiful way, because honestly, that's the part that I wish they were more supportive and did for me. But it's okay because I've developed it for myself.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
definitely, if you are if you show that passion, if you show up for them, if you even invest a little bit into their hobbies and say, hey, this is just because I love and support you, then oh my goodness, that does wonders, man.
Right.
It does wonders.
And that's the thing where I agree with if you can lead the horse to water but can't let it drink, He led us to the water, and then he set that foundation, and then we started drinking.
Invest in your kid, man.
Yeah, invest in your kid, man.
Just always do it, brother.
Yeah.
Always do
it. That's a good point that you really did make. Yeah, damn. What about you then, Carlo? How do you feel about it on the aspect of the encouragement thing?
Yeah. Like I said, I wish I would have got it more, but I've developed a way to learn how to encourage myself and also make sure I encourage other people. So that's why, of course, I started this whole movement. But when it comes to the fatherhood, man, I think that's important. Because one thing I realized, like, I'm a 36-year-old, or about to be a 36-year-old man, and there's sometimes I still want that validation from my dad. That's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you still want your dad to be like, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm realizing this, and older, because I'm older than both of y'all. Like I'm at this age, and I still want that. So that encouragement I feel like is important. Just kind of keep your kid going in the right direction. Hopefully in the right direction as far as where they're going. So encouragement is important.
Yeah, man. Oof, man.
So give us maybe a short experience about because you said you had mentioned about being a new father, man. Kind of give us a little bit of that experience, man.
Well, with that experience, I guess, the concept of my dad being in my life, he has shown me that, okay, you never fight in front of your children, Even if he's a baby, I learned that, definitely the communication needs to be there, Definitely make sure the support with your wife is going to be there. Definitely make sure the support with your child is going to be there. I have a newborn baby, so it's a little different to really figure out all the nicks and knacks right now, but he kind of helped me already set the foundation of how a man should be in a household, so therefore now I'm guiding myself to be a man to where then I could be an actual father, because there's different things that you could do as a man that don't really say that, okay, he's father material, so he's kind of still guiding me towards that area, but I think it's hard. It's hard. Now I actually see, when you be like, okay, my dad don't know what he's talking about, or my mom don't know what they're talking about. But then when you actually go through those experiences, like, dang, they were actually right about these certain things. So right now I'm kind of going through the motions of, you have to be that foundation. You have to be the guy to make those moves. It's like the church thing, I pulled my family up there, you can't be afraid to do a lot of things. And because if I'm afraid, she's afraid.
Exactly.
If I'm worried, she's worried.
Right.
If I'm not ready, she's not ready.
Yeah.
So therefore, he showed me to definitely make sure you're always going to be on go. Make sure you're always going to be ready to improve. Make sure you always be that foundation for your family.
Right.
But we're having a newborn right now. I mean, the biggest thing he taught me is to keep my mouth closed.
Oof.
That's the biggest thing. And I didn't think that was true. I was like, nah, I'm a new dad. I'm going to enjoy my son. Mama bear phase. That mama bear phase is real. And that's something, keeping your mouth closed in relationships sometimes, that will save your life. So right now, I'm kind of understanding how to not think that everything needs a response. Not realize that, okay, things are good. It's going to have to be okay. She's the mom. She's going to have to go through her stage, and the understanding part as a man, to get me to develop as a father, definitely. Because if I want her to do things now, the communication and love and, just everything is not going to be there later on. So I guess keeping my mouth closed for the most part is the biggest thing. I know that seems so simple, y'all, but the biggest thing I've been going through so far is making sure I don't say the wrong thing about her baby. Because it's my baby too, but not really. Not really. I'm just there being the support. I'm telling you, bro.
Sheesh.
I'm telling you. So he really showed me how to really be understanding with a lot of things on a serious note. How to definitely make sure you don't step out of line, and make sure your family don't step out of line. Make sure that you guys there's food on your table. You got a place to stay.
Right.
The car has gas in it. Make sure her phone's on. Your phone on. Baby milk. Just different things to really make sure You have everything together before you have yourself together. And sometimes, it's hard to put them first, not in a way of like a selfish way, but when it comes down to it, it's like, okay, you're thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
So as a father, you can't do that. So I'm really at the point to now where I'm like, what can I do to improve my family? What can I do to make her more happier? What can I do to make him healthier? What can I do to really provide? What can I do to make sure we're good?
Right.
What to make sure the communication is there. Small things that I have to do to make sure, like, because we're the biggest kink in that machine, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
And I realized that. So he's really teaching me how the whole machine works in the household. Like, you're that big wheel, and if you're not turning, nothing else is turning.
Yeah.
So he's giving me that motivation. He's giving me that push to where, all right, like I'm setting the foundation for you as my son. So make sure you're passing that on. Now I know, all right, I might not have all the money in my pocket, but make sure that I'm investing in him to make sure he's good. Make sure he's living his dreams. Make sure he's really escalating in life. So I guess it's a little bit of everything. It's really hard to pinpoint because, like I said, fatherhood is something that you have to really practice on being comfortable but being uncomfortable. So every day I'm adapting to something different, man. Literally every single day.
Wow.
So it's man, let me tell you something. Ask for the next show, because right now, man, when I tell you my mind is going. So that's why I really applaud my dad for being in our life. Because shoot, 8 kids, my mind is really going off of one child on how to really make things.
Like, damn, this is a lot right now. Like,
it's a lot right now.
One
8
child.
times?
Yeah, he did it 8 times.
Yeah, 8 times and
Wow.
still here. So I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
look, my mind is like, really developing around that. Like, okay, if
Yeah.
he did it, I could do
You
it.
can do it, exactly.
Exactly.
That's it.
So I think that's the biggest thing. That's the bullet point.
You don't realize how much your father was like really doing it until you get there. You're like, wow, this is crazy. I can't lie,
All
this
the
is crazy.
emotion,
Yeah.
all the
But
stress.
I think one of my favorite points that you made was more so that, when you become a father, you can't just necessarily do what you want to do. And I think that's a lot sometimes where people go wrong because they have children and they're like, yo, I'm still in charge of my life. He on his own. And it's just like, nah, you can't, you got to be there for him because you brought him into the world. You got to teach him at least. Like, that's like how upset would you be if someone just brought you into the world and then was just like, I don't even know how this shit working. Take care though. And just took off.
That's real stuff because you know how much I love karaoke.
Yeah.
You already know. Soon they'll find out that AKA Smooth Chocolate. But I love karaoke. And it's something that I have to really sacrifice. I haven't been in, a month or 2 now? And
you definitely, definitely find time for yourself when you can, but you gotta understand that you got families to support.
Yeah.
And as the masculine role in that family, there is a certain point where you are that foundation.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Because you
gotta
did not
first.
physically bring the child into the
Exactly.
world. You need to make sure that everything is working so that we can contain and nurture this world, like that child into this world.
Yep.
So that is a very important kingship in fatherhood, man. Like, is understanding that you big man, you gotta take care of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's a level of selflessness that you gotta have.
Yes.
You have to practice selflessness.
Yes.
For your child, right?
Yes. A lot of selflessness, a lot of obedience, a lot of understanding. Like, okay, that's gonna be there, but now you have to be here for them. Because that second that I don't give her that break, that's the second that she could crumble down.
One of the biggest things that I've kind of understood is when your woman is down, when your woman is not, where she wants to be, you need to nurture her. You gotta nurture, and the same thing with the child. You gotta nurture them.
Yeah.
Because if you nurture them, they will nurture you.
Yeah.
They will come back and nurture you when you are in that same place.
Yeah.
But so, and this is what me and my girlfriend have talked about for a while now is not everything needs to be 50-50. It doesn't always need to be you meet me here, I meet you here kind of thing. There are going to be certain points in times where one of us is down here and the other needs to kind of help us bring the other one up to where they're at kind of thing. And making sure there's balance in that all the time. If there's not enough balance, then you consider things and talk about it. But that is the most important part in the sense of selflessness is, allowing them to be them and nurturing them and realizing that you you are there as the father
Mm-hmm.
to take care and nurture that family. The same way that family does the same thing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
That's good. That's good, man. So I think this was a fruitful conversation. I feel like I've learned a lot.
I learned a lot
yeah.
as well, yeah.
This is good, man.
Oh, plenty more to come though. Plenty
Plenty
more to come.
Definitely, I think I should invite both y'all. If y'all want to see these fellas back on the show, you know what I'm saying, for another episode, definitely, you know,
Yeah.
let us know. But yeah, man, I think it was a good conversation. I learned a lot.
We appreciate you
learned
letting us. Learned a lot, man.
You learned a lot.
I learned
Conversation
a lot, man. I
did help.
appreciate it for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. So,
Mansuit Monday.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is another episode. Concludes another episode of Mansuit Monday, man. And I thank y'all for watching. You like and subscribe and share. Catch y'all on the next one.
Oh yeah.
Lego.
Yes, sir.
All right, fellas.
That was beautiful.
Appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah, man, thanks for
I
having
know.
me.
Yeah, man. I know it was last minute, but I was like, shit. You here already? You might as well.
I'm sure I got